Hi! Happy Pride Month! I'm Quin, and I felt it most appropriate today to talk about a book that I just finished reading called Osgood is Gone, a Spectral Inspector mystery by Cooper S. Beckett. Yeah, kind of a tongue twister. So as you can see, the cover art is super adorable. And I will let you know that, yes, this kind of looks like it would be a, young adult book, like with this art, which kind of is a little bit Scooby-Doo. At least that's kind of the vibe I was getting. But this isn't really meant for kids. I mean, I guess, like, younger folks could read it, but I think it's pretty much more adult in mind because some of the elements that are talked about. I would like to read you a little bit about Cooper S. Beckett that's on the back. Just gives you a little bit more of an idea before we get started. Cooper S. Beckett. As a queer, non-monogamous writer, Cooper S. Beckett endeavors to create characters that reflect the diverse lifestyles of his friends, his partners, and himself. If he can pit those characters against monsters and cosmic horrors, he's all the happier. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of the characters that are going to be in this book. And for me, this was like the first time I've ever really read a book that had the main character, the protagonist being a, queer woman, where the story wasn't all about her, being queer, being like into women, being into men. That wasn't like the end all be all of her existence, like sometimes some characters can fall into that. She just so happens to be this way and is going through her life, which is kind of a fucking mess. The character's name is Prudence Osgood, which, fantastic punny title, love it. The title actually gives the very end away. Ooh. Which does set it up for a sequel, I'll tell you that. There's definitely going to be a series, which I am actually really excited to read. So, okay. The character, Prudence Osgood, is an alcoholic, and she has, just not the best past. She's about to turn 40. She's a blackout alcoholic, and she basically runs a podcast that used to be a bigger deal. She used to have a whole lot of followers, and there's a bit of baggage between her and one of her former partners who she also worked with, and they were going to have like a huge paranormal TV show, and it was going to be a big deal, but then Osgood and the people that were creating the show decided to pull a hoax, and that caused a rift between her and her partner. So that's like some baggage, and there was a disappearance of her partner's, one of her relatives who was disappeared, and she disappeared at the same time that a bunch of other people disappeared. So there's like this creepy backstory, and Osgood gets pulled back into this crazy world through a really weird email that she gets, and she finds out that this email contains the lyrics to this band that was like really, really huge for a while, like, Rolling Stones huge, but then they fell off the face of the earth, and it's one of those like mysteries that gets even creepier and creepier. Now, I'm personally not really one for mysteries. I'm one of those people that is like towards like third way through the story, I'm like, you mean the butler didn't do it? That I'm one of those people. I don't have the head for mysteries. So like I'm more of a horror gal myself, which, part of the title of this is Osgood is Gone, a Spectral Inspector mystery. It's definitely a mystery. It also, Osgood is also a ghost hunter, so and she has like visions, and she's able to, see things for real, but which is a real shame about, the whole like trying to hoax for a show. So there's so much into this story. I really don't want to give it away. I really think you should check it out. There's going to be more. There's a sequel. It does leave it up. Like I said, there's a lot of horror elements to this story, and it's almost Lovecraftian, which makes me really happy. There's elements where, like I mentioned, the bands, the band that was mentioned, they, you know, did some dealings with some entities that really weren't so nice. So there's a lot of fun stuff. There's a lot of fun stuff in this book. I will say, though, that Prudence Osgood, as interesting as she is as a main character to have, like, you kind of get a little tired of being in her head, because she's a difficult person to deal with, and, like, part of me likes that. It's like, oh, here's this character that's complex, but you kind of feel bad for the people that do deal with her shit. Like, it's just like, oh my goodness. But that makes it more relatable, I suppose. Also, I guess for myself personally, a character that is more similar to me, I find them a little hard to deal with. Like I mentioned already, like when I read books, I kind of like them to be, you know, completely outside of a world that I understand. So they're a little bit, so some of the stuff that happens, I'm just like, oh man, like, okay. I mean, you know. Okay. There's some really fun, really creepy imagery. There's a little bit, see, look at that spooky girl. If you get the paperback, it's also in the Kindle edition as well, if you like, you know, ebooks and stuff. There's some creepy imagery in it. Also, if you do get the paperback, you get these fun, very spooky bookmarks. Oh, yeah, so spooky. Bend the knee for the Lord, and we've cut out our eyes so now that we can see. Oh, what does that mean? You're gonna find out. Also, something really cool in honor of Pride Month, as well as for the entire summer, you can get the ebook of Osgood Gone on osgoodasgone.com. That's OSGOODASGONE.com, and the promo code is Scary Summer. You get 20% off of the ebook, so that's freaking awesome. Have you checked out this book? It did just come out very, very recently, so if you haven't checked it out and you want to, please do, and let me know in the comments what you think of it. If there's any other books you'd like me to check out, also put those in the comments. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and yeah, happy Pride. Bye.